at the core, I do not think this should be a franchise.
Yeah,
I think
same.
like Ghostbusters is just Ghostbusters.
Ghostbusters 1, it should have ended at Ghostbusters 1.
That's it.
The second movie, I like to pretend, didn't even happen.
I don't even remember the second movie. This
it
movie
wasn't good.
didn't remember the second movie.
Yeah. I didn't even see the 2016 one. I have zero.
Hello, puppers. Welcome to Pupcorn Movies. We just saw Ghostbusters Afterlife.
Yes.
And let me just lead by saying this is a franchise that's just damned if you do, damned if you don't.
Yes.
So take
very much
my
so.
criticisms with the tiniest bits of salt. If you're excited for this movie, go watch it. Have a good time. I'm having a relapse of nostalgia right now.
And also, in the same breath, take my praises with a grain of salt, because if you absolutely adore Ghostbusters, we probably won't agree.
Right.
So, but at the end of the day, I really enjoyed it.
Okay.
I would put it as a very good movie.
Yeah, I enjoyed it as well, but like there was just a lot of grievances I had and a lot of nitpicks. And, like, the biggest one was, like, a lot of nostalgia baiting I just felt in this movie.
Whereas I loved it. I loved that they put in those little nuances of, like, the original 1984 movie with, like, the crunch bar in the pocket. Like, I loved that. I thought it made it charming, and it really did bring the original back into this movie.
All right.
Whereas that's the damned if you do, damned if you don't, because... Yeah. With these types of movies, you're never going to win.
No.
Like...
That's why I prefer just going forward, doing your own Shovel Knight. Something
Whereas,
that's inspired by the old, but it's new.
And we definitely agree on that. That's how I feel about the whole Marvel universe, is I'm like, listen, I'm tired of these things. I want to see something new. And they're just like, nope, we're just going to beat it till it's dead.
Yeah, that's my fear of the new Spider-Man coming out. I'm just like, here we go.
Here we go. But overall...
with my nostalgia.
Overall, I really enjoyed Afterlife for a few different reasons.
Okay.
I liked that they wrapped up the story, that it really was very much in memory of.
Yes.
I think that was very special, because he died before this movie went into production, yeah?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
Long before. He died before the 2016 movie came out.
Okay. I couldn't quite remember.
So, like, they've been trying to do a Ghostbusters 3 for, like, decades.
Yeah.
And like it was between like,
and mainly,
I don't like that writer.
Mainly Bill Murray has just been like,
but mostly
no thanks.
It was Bill Murray being like, I don't want to do that.
Which is fine. Like, dude, do
like
other projects. Like, yes, absolutely.
Just don't.
But overall, like, I like that they did bring the old actors back.
Yeah.
And I like even more, and this was one of the biggest complaints of like hardcore Ghostbuster fans, is that they were only there for a few minutes. I like that. I like that they didn't bombard the movie with themselves, because what these nostalgia movies are doing is they are breathing new life into it for a new generation.
Yeah.
So, like, what would be the point of having these old actors come back and take lead in this movie when the new generation, they don't care?
Honestly, this
movie
movie
they're old men now. Like,
the new Star Wars should have done. People wanted to see Leia, Han, and Luke in just one scene, even if it was 5 seconds long, just to have the reunion shot.
Well, even, like...
It couldn't even do that.
Exactly, and that's what I really adore that this movie did, is they legitimately passed the torch.
Yes.
So, like, the old Ghostbusters came back, they helped defeat the bad guy, and the new Ghostbusters, you know, the new gang, was there, and everyone worked together, and then the old ones were like, hey, great job. Passing the torch.
So that's the ending.
So it's like...
And the character.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the actual story.
Yeah.
So, Ghostbusters Afterlife starts off with Egon's death.
Yes.
And I was like, oh, really?
And you didn't like the beginning.
I did not like Listen, I didn't like the first, like, 30 minutes of this movie.
Yeah.
Because I was just like, I don't like the tone. I don't like what they're doing with Egon.
Whereas I
I'm
kind
just
of,
like,
I kind of
I'm
liked
not
it.
on board.
I kind of liked it.
Okay.
It was very serious. It was a big contrast to the original. It had a very serious beginning.
Yeah, I think
where it's
that
like,
was the boing.
Whereas I think out of the two of us, most often than not, I'm more serious than you are. I like take things more to heart. And I'm like, no!
You're
like,
more serious, but like the stupidest thing can send you on a tirade,
can like set
whereas
me
I'm
off.
just sitting here
You're
like,
just like,
really?
not important.
Hi.
But the beginning of the movie was very serious. We have Egon, like, running through, and we don't necessarily know it's him because the face is blurred out for obvious reasons.
Thank God.
Yeah. Thank you for doing that the right way. Looking at you, Mandalorian, trying to... Anyway.
I mean, they still do that at the ending.
If you want to hear that tangent, go watch Mandalorian videos.
Yeah.
But I think it was necessary because it really does set up the entire movie. Because in the beginning, you see his death. You see he dies. You see who kills him.
Yep.
You see where he puts all of this technology that is going to set up for the new characters to find them. So it does set it up. And then you also see, like, the seriousness of the family. They get evicted from their apartment. Mm-hmm. You know, you see, like, the son is just kind of this, like, almost annoying character of, like, ugh, why are you touching me? Ew, stop it. Like, there's no cell phone.
The son's annoying.
Yeah, and
the
then...
mother drove me up a wall.
And then you have the daughter that's, like, stealing electricity from the neighbors. Yeah. And, you know, she's like, I can fix it. And then the mom, you can just kind of see that she's, like, a friend mom. And for anyone that has ever had or seen a friend mom, you know what I'm talking about, where it's like, she's a mom, but she's also, like, buddy with her kids.
I didn't see that at all.
I
she
definitely
was really
see that.
shitty. I saw a lot of Walter Peck in her.
And
everyone's having fun. She's going to be the dickless.
Well, no, because, like, that's the friend mom, where she's, like, instead of trying to encourage her daughter, like, okay, you know, you be you, you're awesome. She's like, hey, don't be yourself. Like, it's a joke. It's very clearly a joke between them.
Okay. I just didn't find it funny.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of because, like, I had a friend mom.
All right.
So where, like, she's mothering them, but she's also like, meh. You know, like, it's...
Well, she was very meh. So
yeah,
like,
very meh.
Meh to you, too.
Which is, like, very much, like, a single parenting thing. Like, single parents will do that a lot, where it's just kind of like, I'll do my best. But, like, because most parents would try and, like, soften the blow of, like, yeah, we were evicted. Whereas her son is like, I thought you had money saved up. And she goes, yeah, then I had kids. Like, basically putting the blame on them, which was really, you know, a turnoff. But also... to me, it felt raw.
Okay.
Like, I don't know. It felt like that could happen in real life. You know, they weren't just like...
Happen all at once, doesn't have to like it.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't think you're supposed to like it.
No, I didn't think so either.
Yeah, because she's definitely not Mother of the Year.
That's why I'm like, Walter Peck. She's the Walter Peck. She's the character. It's just like, everything's happening, the plot's progressing, things are going forward, and she's going to regress it back to be like the mother or just like the killjoy. Yeah. Like, I was actually hoping for when Paul Rudd shows up, which was when I started really enjoying the movie. I thought he would be more of like a mentor of like, no, this was crazy. This all happened. Yeah. And just like more than one lesson. But one lesson he meets, kind of falls in love with that white trash toast. And like that subplot kicks off. And I'm just like, well, what about Paul Rudd and the kids? I kind of like that. I kind of like the chemistry.
The dynamic. But see though, and...
I wanted more of like... just one adult and let the kids be kids.
One thing that I was reading up on whenever I was just looking at overall reviews and what people thought of this movie, they compared it a lot to Stranger Things because of, you know, the actors and things like that.
And stuff like that.
But that was one of the things that they said was like, if Paul Rudd would have been like Dad of the Year, you know, with the kids, then it falls into the Stranger Things trope where it's like, you know, the older kid hanging out with these little kids. And it's a weird dynamic.
Yeah, see, whereas
it's enjoyable, but it's also
I get
odd.
You. But I would have preferred, like, again, another Finn Wolfhard, It Chapter 1.
Yeah.
The kids are just being kids.
Yeah.
They're off on their own journey. Like, fuck the parents.
Yeah.
Kids are going on their journey where there's a development.
I feel like they do that in a way.
Which was when I started to, like, loosen up and enjoy the film. Yeah. Whereas at first there was, like, so much restriction on, like, these child characters. And I'm just like, can these kids just be kids and, like, go off? We were, like, 30 minutes in. They haven't really done anything.
And honestly, one of the things I absolutely love about the child actors in this movie, they're not perfect.
No.
They make mistakes.
They're children.
They do things that I genuinely think kids would do.
Yes.
Of course, like, you know, a child's not going to pick
like
up, like, a plasma gun or anything like that.
Kids. I didn't see
they
actors.
were like,
I didn't see,
they were having fun. They were making mistakes. They needed each other.
Yes.
Which is one reason why I loved Phoebe. I think that Phoebe really propelled this movie forward.
Yeah.
She was quirky, awkward.
Yep.
Like, she is relatable to the people that this movie is going to attract.
Mm-hmm.
Where it's like, I was dying in the theater because of her jokes. Like, those are things that I find really funny, and like the people around me are like, is she okay? Like,
you
is
told
she
me
special
that
needs?
fish joke once, and I was
I did.
I was
was
like Gozer the first time you told me that story. I'm just sitting here like,
yeah, where it's like, isn't that funny? Like, what's a fish with no eyes?
Mm-hmm.
Like, but those are the types of jokes that she told, and it was just really quirky, and you know, I can definitely tell that she was a 12-year-old kid.
Mm-hmm.
Even though she's advanced and she's very, very smart, she's still 12.
Yeah.
And that really came across. I love that she wasn't like, I can do it myself. Like, she needed her friends. She needed people there to help her. And it was never a question of, oh, I guess I'll accept your help. You know, it was always very much like, from the very beginning, she needed those people.
Yeah.
I love the scene where, like, they destroy the main strip.
That's, like, the best scene in the movie.
And they end up in...
chasing, not Slimer.
Yeah, Muncher.
Blue Slimer.
They chase Muncher. I don't know. To me, that's the type of nostalgia blast that I enjoy.
Okay, that's fine.
And that's a
very
personal,
Force Awakens to me, where I was just like,
that's a personal preference for me, though, because it's also like, I love the mini marshmallows. I thought they were adorable.
Mm-hmm.
I was dying when they were like going throughout the grocery store, and they were like on the grill, and they're melting, and they're catching on fire. Yeah. They're like killing each other, but they all have like these big smiles. Like, it was just really cute.
Okay.
In a very morbid Goodbye Kitty kind of way. But I just thought it was really, really cute.
Yeah.
Overall,
keep in mind, like, we had low expectations.
Oh, yeah.
Walking into this movie.
I think that is...
At the core, I do not think this should be a franchise.
Yeah,
I think,
same.
like, Ghostbusters is just Ghostbusters.
Ghostbusters 1, it should have ended at Ghostbusters 1.
That's it.
The second movie, I like to pretend, didn't even happen.
I don't even remember the second movie. This
it
movie
wasn't good.
didn't remember the second movie.
Yeah. I didn't even see the 2016 one. I have zero... Like, I don't want to see it.
It's not as terrible as some people say, but it's not worth praising.
Yeah.
It just exists.
I don't want to see it at all. But I think one of the biggest reasons...
Comedians talking over each other like we do.
Yeah. True. We're not comedians, so I think I'm funny, but...
I can be funny, but I'm not funny.
No, I think one of the reasons why it was such like a nostalgia flashback and all of these little cookies and things like that from the previous movies, the first one, was because of the direction. It was the original director's son that directed this movie. So I think that's why it was so incredibly reminiscent of the first one.
We talked about this in the car, that like, the reason why I accepted why Gozer would come back is that is the only villain that would tie back to Egon. Where it would make sense, where like threads are coming together.
Not only that,
if you introduce a new villain, it's like, what the fuck does Egon have to do with this?
Well, not only that is the only villain. You know what I mean? Because we were kind of comparing it to Batman, because we were talking about being excited for the new Batman movie, and that they're using different villains, and I'm like, well, that's because they have them. Yeah. You know, there's this whole slew of villains that they can use, whereas in Ghostbusters,
and I mean,
there's really only one.
Hold on. I am reaching here. There was an animated series that I'm sure had a slew of B minor villains. They could have popped one of those out and polished them and made
Oh, no.
Again, I'm reaching, but I'm just saying, it could happen.
I feel
they just decided not to.
Yeah, I feel like this was the bow. Like, they tied the bow on the franchise. They left it open. If you stay throughout all of the if you stay throughout all of the credits, they do leave it open. I feel like if they were to make a new one, it wouldn't be meant for us. It would be meant for, you know, the new kids in high school.
I hope so.
It's not going to be designed for the original fans. It's going to move on to the new fandom.
Like, we need those. All right, bye-bye. Yeah. Love those memories. So, gotta move on. Life moves.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I feel like they did wrap it up nice enough that it's like, this is the end for us. We get the ending where we see, like, the original Ghostbusters. They're old. They're tired. Mm-hmm. They're like, they've passed the torch formally. And
Ghostbusters does what Star Wars does.
And that's, and that's, I feel like, the end. Okay. So if they come up with, like, a new Ghostbusters, I don't think I'd want to see it. I think that this was the end that I needed as a Ghostbuster fan.
Okay. So, how would we rank this? Because you were more positive than me.
Yeah, I was definitely more positive.
I'd say, even despite my criticisms and like the agonizing opening act, which I'm slowly warming up to the more I think about it, seeing where the story went.
I think it was necessary, but it did drag a little.
That being said, I give it a worth a walk.
Oh, I would probably take it for a walk or let it sleep at the foot of the bed.
Okay. You'll let it sleep. You'll let Zool sleep at the foot of the bed.
I will let Zool sleep at the foot of the bed.
All right.
Yeah.
And, so yeah, what did you guys think of Ghostbusters Afterlife?
Let us know in the comments.
Are you glad that it's becoming a franchise? Like it said Ghost Corps at the beginning.
Oh, yeah, it did.
I was just like, they're trying to. Because Sony's like, we only got Spider-Man. We gotta cash off something.
But yeah, let us know what you think. Did you like it? Did you love it? Did you hate it?
Yeah.
Are you where he's at and you're just like, it's okay. You know, we really want to know. We really want to talk about it. So let us know in the comments.
Alrighty. See you guys in the next video.
Toodles!